Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to take a lot of time because the fuel issue is a very big issue that is coming up, Honorable Speaker. And I think it's important we discuss it. But I was wondering, Honorable Speaker, at what point you'll allocate time to discuss a less important issue, but all the same important, because, Honorable Speaker, over the weekend, the Arsenal won the league for the first time in 22 years, Honorable Speaker. And you yourself, Honorable Speaker, are a supporter of the Arsenal team. And even the PMQs, including the minority leader, even the PMQs, Keir Starmer, Honorable Speaker, commended the Arsenal. And you're the only person, Honorable Speaker, in this House. In the last 22 years, nobody was here. It's just you when we last won the league. So I think it is a less important issue, but all the same, thousands of Kenyans poured in the streets to see the Arsenal take the league. So, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to bring that issue. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order from Manu supporters.
Ozora, what is it?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, we are Kenyans.
Order.
Honorable Speaker, we are Kenyans and we should be speaking about Shabana, Gor Mahia and AFC. If we have to speak, and Kawangware United, if we have to speak about international games and EPL, let's talk about Manchester United. You cannot be discussing about us, Honorable Speaker. So,
Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, the world has realized and the world has come to terms that the biggest team in the world, the most formidable team in the world, Mr. Speaker, with the biggest following, supporters, Mr. Speaker, is none other than Arsenal, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is no team like Arsenal in this world, Mr. Speaker. There are no players like Arsenal players in the world, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say this in conclusion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this in conclusion. For those who believe in Arsenal, and for those who support Arsenal, and for those who have faith in Arsenal, 30th is our day. When we are going to conquer the world, Mr. Speaker. 30th of this month, when we are going to conquer the world and win the championship, Mr. Speaker, and floor PSG, Mr. Speaker, 3-0, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, on a more serious note, Honorable Speaker, and without casting any aspersions, I thought the Honorable Mwenje would be considerate of all the other teams, Honorable Speaker, and not make this request when the Honorable Speaker is on the chair. Yes. Because the Honorable Speaker, I am not sure we can trust the Honorable Speaker on a matter touching on Arsenal. Therefore, I thought the Honorable Mwenje would be fair to at least wait for a time when the Honorable Speaker is not on the chair to make such a request for a debate on something to do with Arsenal, because the Honorable Speaker is a known, is a known fan and great supporter of Arsenal. But Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to congratulate Arsenal and congratulate all the other teams that play in the Premier League and appreciate and thank the Honorable Mark Mwenje. Honorable Speaker, I happened to be in London with the Honorable Mark Mwenje. And we had a 9 a.m. meeting the day, the day after the game. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Mwenje could not speak in that meeting because he had lost his voice. He made his way to North London, to the Emirates Stadium, but I say I must thank him in a very special manner because I have not been a fan of any of these teams, not Man U, not Arsenal, not Liverpool, not Chelsea. I have been a supporter of Homeboys FC in Gekambura village in Kikuyu. That thrashed Kawangware FC in their last game. But Honorable Speaker, my young daughter is an ardent supporter of Arsenal. And she has since recruited me into the Arsenal fans team. And I thank Honorable Mwenje because the Honorable Mwenje offered. The Honorable Mwenje offered. The Honorable Mwenje offered to go and queue at the Emirates Stadium for almost 2 hours and bought my daughter a jersey that has her name and number 7 on it. And when the Honorable Mwenje came back, I asked him, so how much is the jersey? That jersey, Honorable
Number
Speaker.
7 is the jersey of Bukayo Saka.
Now, Honorable Speaker, if you had asked me, I would tell you number 7 is Mombi, because the jersey has the name Mombi, number 7. But what caught my attention, Honorable Speaker, as a business person, was when Honorable Mwenje told me that he had bought that jersey for about 160 pounds, translating to about 28,000 Kenya shillings. Now, Honorable Speaker, I looked at that business opportunity. Then when I saw the celebrations around Kencom over the weekend, I asked myself how I wish I knew I would have made those jerseys and sold them. But that tells you the power of sports. And the Honorable Mwenje, I would challenge you now to have a motion that will, or even a bill that speaks to how well we support our local teams, how we use our sports fund not just to develop infrastructure, but also to make sure that all our federations are properly run and we keep politics out of our football and other sports federations, because sports, Honorable Speaker, is the next frontier of investments, Honorable Speaker, in terms of areas and spaces where people can make money. And with that,
Yes,
Honorable
Millie.
Speaker, congratulations to Arsenal
Millie.
and thank you, Honorable Mwenje.
Yes, Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It would be a tragedy if we hear Arsenal people speaking here and you have Manu in the house. Mr. Speaker, in my mother tongue, there is a saying that the Angotho Korgodera, when a cow dies in the home of the thin person, we will never stop hearing the last of it. So a cow has died in the home of the thin person because they've never seen this a whole 22 years. Mr. Speaker, my husband is an Arsenal supporter. And I want to tell you that I thought for a long time that he had stopped being interested in soccer. Mr. Speaker, they have just been frustrated and depressed for 22 years. The man almost divorced me out of depression because they cannot handle defeat for 22 years. They should learn from Man U. This is the biggest team on earth. Mr. Speaker, but I also want to say that we need to remember that Gor Mahia, Kogalo, also won. But let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, even though we may be saying this on a light note, but if there is one thing you can observe, is that sport has a way of uniting people. There are people who are not friends of Baba, and Baba was an Arsenal supporter, but they are all there in Arsenal, and they were putting all the photos of Baba across and sharing all over. So let us actually strengthen our sports and our games, especially the local ones, so that we can also have our sons and daughters celebrated the way these Odera people were celebrating themselves like Unite. They've not seen this thing for let them talk to us. Us, it's only 14 years.
Really?
But we are coming next time. Mr. Speaker, you should not rule me because you are biased.
Millie, in 2 minutes, you have betrayed 2 people. Your husband and Baba. Yes, KJ.
Mr. Speaker, I carefully hesitate to ask you to declare your interest in this matter, knowing full well, Mr. Speaker, that there is a distinction between the Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula and the Speaker of this House. And I want to imagine that the Speaker of this House ought to be neutral, Mr. Speaker, as we discuss some of these matters, Mr. Speaker. And the bigger point,
Declare your interest. Which team do you
Mr.
support?
Speaker, I am a big fan of Kawangware United from Dagoretti South constituency that plays at Reruta BP Stadium, Mr. Speaker. And I think the bigger point would be for the Honorable Mwenje to look for opportunity in this house for us to be able to promote sports so that we are, if we are big fans of Arsenal or Man U in Manchester United, we can get an opportunity for them to do an exhibition match in this country, in the new Talanta Stadium, Mr. Speaker. In that way, these teams would be encouraging youthful Kenyans, because we know that there are countries like Rwanda that invest very early in their talent so that even 6 years old, 7-year-olds are already out there in these international academies getting ready for a World Cup tournament, Mr. Speaker. And I do think that our biggest joy as a country would be when our teams would be as big as the teams that are being discussed. But Mr. Speaker, I must declare my interest that Manchester United, the great Manchester United, is my team of, is the team that I support,
Members,
Mr.
we leave
Speaker.
it
The
there.
great team that even remembers when they last won this Premier League, not teams that won this Premier League last when some children who are already adults, grown-ups, were not even born, Mr. Speaker. And they have just won this Premier League by fluke, Mr. Speaker, and we know the real champions shall be claiming their place
Honorable
in the next
KJ.
year's tournament. Thank you very much.
The Holy Book, the Bible, tells us that salvation is not judged by longevity. It's judged at the moment it happens. And Mwenje is damn right. Arsenal won the league. They are the champions. And they'll win. And they'll win Champions League. Order. Let's not spend too much of our time discussing Man U, a team that was nearly relegated last season. We'll now invite. Yes, Irene Mayaka, what is it? On the same issue?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, you know I'm known in this house as the champion of local soccer. And just as Honorable Millie said, in as much as we understand that no Arsenal fan has been able to actually say congratulations to their team since the inception of social media, because that's the last time they won. But also, Honorable Speaker, Gor Mahia has won 22 record titles. So we also need to acknowledge them for that. And Honorable Speaker, just to the point that Honorable Ishungwa said about us supporting and championing for bills and legislations that are actually supporting sports in this country, is to say that I am looking forward to this House supporting my criminalizing match-fixing bill that is soon coming to the House, so that we continue supporting soccer in this country. And finally, Honorable Speaker, the Harambee Starlets have a game against Uganda on Saturday, that when they win this game, they will be participating in the World Cup for the women football. So I'm urging all the members of this House to come on Saturday to Lindsay Sports Complex so that you can also support our girls to win.
Wanjala? Wanjala? Give Wanjala the mic.
Honorable Speaker, the people of Budalangi were all on the streets, Honorable Speaker. I didn't know that they were all supporting Arsenal. Mr. Speaker, they even raised money to have fun and Siangiri Bar and other bars in Budalangi. Mr. Speaker, I've been in a shop right now. I went to buy an Arsenal attire. Mr. Speaker, the line that is there, the shop is full, and the shop is called East West Sportswear on Moi Avenue. Honorable Speaker, Arsenal is the team to watch, and Saturday we are prepared, Mr. Speaker, all of us to cheer Arsenal as it wins the next month. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you. Let's end it there. Order. Mwenje, you are so right. Arsenal brought 1 million Nairobians to the streets of Nairobi to celebrate their victory. GK, my interest, Millie, is the most poorly guarded secret. My support for Arsenal.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move that this House do now adjourn under Standing Order 33-1 to discuss a definite matter of urgent national importance, namely the persistent increase in fuel prices and its far-reaching effects on the transport sector, cost of living and economic productivity across the Republic of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, much as we know that fuel prices are determined by issues beyond our control, especially now that we've had a war in the Gulf region, what we refer to as external shocks. Honorable Speaker, we must, as a House, reason together and see how we can mitigate the effects of these prices. Honorable Speaker, one of the areas which I think we must address is investment in EV vehicles. And I know we would want to reduce import prices or import tax for electric vehicles, but I would be happier if we invested in manufacturing.
Our guest is none other than the Majority Leader of the National Assembly.
Bring it down because it is being used to scam Kenyans on oil prices. Thank you.
Very well. Member for Kiharu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to go direct to the point. And number one is that I wrote to Parliament when this issue happened, 2 letters actually, one for recall and the other one for consideration with specifics on the things that I'm proposing. And I am happy that tomorrow I'll be appearing before the Budget Committee to further those proposals, and on Friday I'll be appearing before the Finance Committee. But Honorable Speaker, I also find it unfortunate the earlier assertions in regards to the letter I wrote in terms of recalling Parliament. Honorable Speaker, as all of us know, as Kenyans know, the role of the Member of Parliament as to when they actually deposit the letter to the relevant office. It's not my responsibility to look for the holder of the office. He could be chairing a meeting in Bungoma, for example, for a political party, or any other Honorable Speaker. It's not my role to look for them. And I say so because this issue went to the media way after I raised it. And Honorable Speaker, it is not my responsibility to call office holders to come back to the office and check the communication from various members.
Member for
Secondly,
Kiharu, please do not challenge the Speaker's ruling. Okay. Be careful to just use your minutes to prosecute your issue.
The second thing, Honorable Speaker, that I want to raise, we now have a government that has been swallowed by the opposition, and the other way around, an opposition that is in government. We have leadership on both sides, on the government and the opposition, singing the same choir, Honorable Speaker. Who will stand in for Kenya's, Honorable Speaker, if we don't fill up the gap, Honorable Speaker? We must do
Honorable
what we
Junet.
must, Honorable Speaker,
Order.
because the current situation...
Order, Member for Kiharu. Honorable Member for Suna
Speaker,
East. What is out of order?
What's out of order, Madam Speaker, is I want to educate my younger brother that there is no opposition in Parliament. What we have in Parliament is majority side and minority side. And every member, in accordance with the Constitution, is supposed to hold the executive accountable. You don't expect the minority to do, you don't have to be a minority to hold the government accountable. Even the majority where you belong, that is why nowadays you are talking the way you are talking.
You've made your point,
So,
Honorable
Madam
Junet.
Speaker, no, let me finish.
It is
Madam
more
Speaker, the second
order. It is more of a point of information, not point of order. What is out of order?
the manner in which the member has spoken about how to call for a special sitting of the House. Madam Speaker, that matter is well articulated in the standing orders.
That
you
has
can form
been
your own
dealt
standing
with.
order.
Order,
And
members. Honorable members, the Speaker already gave a ruling, and the member for Kiharu has been guided accordingly because that issue has been dealt with. Honorable Karoli, there is no one on the floor. You cannot be possibly on a point of order. Member for Kiharu.
Honorable Speaker, I want to request Honorable Junet. An ignorant member cannot inform the House. I need no information from you. I know what I'm talking about. Honorable Speaker, the second point.
Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker.
Can we debate in decorum, honorable members?
I never asked
Let
for
us
any
debate
information.
in decorum. There is no one on the floor so far. Honorable members, I'll indulge honorable member for Magarini, but honorable members, let us debate in decorum. It is important. I will give you, and you do not need to throw words to the speaker. Honorable members, I can hear you. Member for Magarini.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, is the honorable member for Kiharu, Ndindi Nyoro, in order to call an honorable member of this House ignorant? Is he in order to refer to an honorable member as
you
being
have made your point. And member for Kiharu, you certainly know the rules of this House. You know what is parliamentary, what is not parliamentary. Do not throw aspersions to your colleagues.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Can I continue?
Let me hear the member for Kiharu first.
Yeah. I'm doing my submissions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, and I hope those minutes are not eating into my time, Honorable Speaker. The second thing, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Kiharu.
I want to...
Member for Kiharu, a point of order has been raised on you calling a member ignorant. I certainly agree with the honorable member that you cannot possibly call a member ignorant. So I will ask you to, please don't assist me, honorable members. Do not assist me. Honorable member for Kiharu, the specific issue on ignorant, you will withdraw it.
Honorable Speaker, I never called any member ignorant. I said the information he was giving me was not sufficient enough to be an information, Honorable Speaker.
I'll give majority leader, then I'll give a minority whip.
Honorable Speaker.
I'll give you.
Honorable Speaker, you know, I had retreated to my office to attend to other business, but I had to come back quickly. When I heard the member for Kiharu cast aspersions on the person of the Speaker, because you do not need to name anybody by name. But what you say could be casting aspersions, and I thank you, Honorable Speaker, because you guided the member that he cannot and he must never cast aspersions on the Speaker or any other honorable member. Two, Honorable Speaker, the issue raised by the minority leader was not you can rise on a point of information to inform the member who is on his feet. The member for Kiharu was not being informed. The leader of minority stood on a point of order and was speaking to the House. Therefore, the member for Kiharu has no choice other than to withdraw that reference, and he does not need to have mentioned a name, because if you ask for respect, you must also have the temerity to respect other people.
You have made your point.
And I know you are my younger brother. Listen to my advice. I'm only advising you. If you want to go far, learn to respect other people to earn your respect back. You do not. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, Honorable Speaker, through you to the member for Kiharu. When another member raises in his place to inform the House on anything, whether it's on a point of order or a point of information, just be patient. The member for Kiharu this afternoon asked the House that we must, something I agree with him fully, we must allow dissenting opinions. That is why this is a chamber for debate. This is not a church where we sing choruses. But saying the person who was informing is ignorant or is... The Honorable Junet was not informing you. Junet informs more serious legislators.
You have made your point, Millie.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro has indicated that he did not use the word ignorant. And I think you can prove that from the House. Even when you are disagreeing with other members, you must disagree respectfully. Because, Madam Speaker, there's a lot that we can say if we were to go that direction. Madam Speaker, if Honorable Ndindi remembers when we were in the Budget Committee, I told him, wade carefully in this house. One day you might find yourself not as the chair of budget and with me as the chair of budget. Go that rightfully. Because, Madam Speaker, there's a lot that we can say if we were to go that direction. Madam Speaker, if Honorable Ndindi remembers when we were in the budget committee, I told him, wade carefully in this house. One day you might find yourself not as the chair of budget and with me as the chair of budget before this parliament ends. Mr. Speaker, the only wrong thing I got was it's not me who's chair of budget, but he's sitting as non-chair of budget, and Atandi is the chair of budget. So I just want to encourage you, my brother, we've been there, done that, got a t-shirt. Even when you are debating, respect other honorable members. And Madam Speaker would call that we check. If indeed he called Honorable Junet ignorant, he needs to apologize so that is purged. Because his constituents did not elect him because he's ignorant. That's not up to
No member is
Ndindi.
ignorant. I'm with you, Honorable Millie. Junet?
Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, first, this is a house of record. I stood up on a point of order. I did not request you to give me a point of information because Honorable Ndindi is one of the least people I can inform, Madam Speaker, because we don't have that relationship of informing each other. But I was standing on a point of order to bring to your attention, and you asked me twice, what is your point of order? Twice on record. And I told you one is about the issue of how to recall the House for a special sitting, because he was disputing what the substantive speaker had said. Secondly, was the issue of, there's an issue I raised with him about what were some of the issues he raised. Now he has turned the whole thing that I'm informing him. Why should I inform him? I don't come from Kiaru. Why should I inform you? And
Honorable
I don't intend to live in Kiaru.
I have heard all of you. And the one thing I agree with is what Majority Leader and all of you have said. We must maintain decorum in this house. We do not have to all agree, by the way. But Member for Kiharu, on one thing that I will fault you is that I heard you clearly say an ignorant member. I will want you to withdraw that on record, and then you can proceed and we can hear the rest of your submission.
Honorable Speaker, I would require that we actually check on the Hansard kindly, because I also recall I was insinuating on what he said, not the person, Honorable Speaker. And clearly, as you actually ruled yourself, Honorable Speaker, the member was out of order, Honorable Speaker. But for the continuity, because you are executing a very important issue, I withdraw, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, going forward.
I ordered withdrawal, not apology.
Yes.
Go on, Honorable Member for Kiharu.
Honorable Speaker, my proposal is as follows. If we check the landing cost of both super petrol and diesel in Kenya, Honorable Speaker, taxes in terms of petrol account for 74 shillings and diesel account for close to 70 shillings, Honorable Speaker. And my proposal is simple, and the decision lies on this House. One, Honorable Speaker, is that we must make a decision now to lower pump prices, or we are going to deal with a much more sticky situation to our economy in the future. Honorable Speaker, when prices are rising, it is temporary, because the issue that is there globally is temporal. But there are decisions we can make that will affect our economy in the next many months to come, Honorable Speaker. Some of the variables of the economy, for example, take one, like fares. When we raise the prices of fuel, commensurate, the fares go up. But Honorable Speaker, even when the global oil prices will be going down in the next few months, Honorable Speaker, it will be highly unlikely that you are going to realize the downward trend in terms of fares. Because some of these economic variables are sticky in terms of coming down. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I'll be appearing before Budget Committee and Finance to give these proposals. One, in the next 6 months, that we exempt fuel products from VAT, that is, we exempt the 8% that is there. Honorable Speaker, that you bring the cost in terms of pump by 15 shillings and 17 shillings respectively in terms of diesel and petrol. Secondly, is that, Honorable Speaker, we bring down RMLF by Kenya shilling 7. Honorable Speaker, these are not all the taxes. RMLF is 25 shillings. I'm just proposing 7. Honorable Speaker, The other thing does not require even us to debate. And that is, we lower the margins of the importers and the people involved in the oil business. And I'm proposing 4 shillings because, Honorable Speaker, it used to be 12 shillings, now it is 17 shillings. And the last proposal, Honorable Speaker, is that we invoke the money we already have in the Fuel Stabilization Fund so that we subsidize diesel further, Honorable Speaker. And if we do all these things, Honorable Speaker, the pump price will be around 187 shillings, Honorable Speaker, for petrol and diesel. Honorable Speaker, some people then are arguing, how are we going to recover the shortfall in terms of the revenues that are put forth? Honorable Speaker, we will go to the expenditure side, and that is why I'll be appearing before the Budget Committee. The kind of largesse we see in government, this is now the time to cut the flesh. It is the time to cut the fat. That the big offices that are currently enjoying huge budgets, Honorable Speaker, political budgets, it is now time, Honorable Speaker, we scale down on those expenditures for the sake of Kenyans, because we may tell Kenyans to tighten the belts, but Kenyans have no more belts to tighten, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Kiharu, you have 2 minutes.
The other thing, Honorable Speaker, that we have to be aware of, we can talk about global oil prices. It is fine. In 2022, a barrel of oil in May was around $120 per barrel. Now we are talking at around $90 per barrel as of today. Global oil prices were higher in 2022 than now. But now, the pump prices are higher than 2022. There is one denominator in there, Honorable Speaker. It is an animal called G to C, government to cartels, Honorable Speaker, but we like calling it G to G, Honorable Speaker. On the side of the vendors, we have government representing their countries. Saudi Aramco is a government entity. ADNOC is a government entity. Here in Kenya, what we did around that time of G to G, instead of pumping up our NOC, National Oil Corporation, Honorable Speaker, we did the unfathomable. We actually give it the last dose and finished it, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, currently, the government of Saudi Arabia and the government of UAE in that G2G, on this other side, they are dealing with a cartel which is milking Kenya's, Honorable Speaker, of their money. That there are people currently smiling out of profits
Majority
when the
Leader.
Kenyan people, Honorable Speaker, are having pain in the...
Honorable Speaker, I didn't want to interrupt the member for Kiharu, but you know, these are House of Records. And the Honorable member for Kiharu pretends that G to G is not G to G, is G to C, and says it is government to cartels. This House and the country would benefit more from the member for Kiharu if he would substantiate and inform this House who are these cartels, because he seems to know them. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, the member pretends that global oil prices were high in 2022. It would also be important for him to let the country know what was the cost of freight then, and was the Strait of Hormuz open then and today? Because you just need to have a good analysis of the landed cost of fuel today. And you will see that part of what is bedeviling the global economy, not the Kenyan economy, is the cost of freight. The same way, even airlines today are having to detour, take longer routes, and take a hit on their profits.
You've made
And
your
some
point.
park in their vehicles.
Majority Leader.
Their equipment.
You've made your point. Let Honorable Member for Kiharu respond and finish.
Honorable Speaker, in response, just to make it very clear to all of us, the fuel from Saudi Arabia does not pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So let us not keep on misinforming Kenyans in looking for short solutions, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, I beseech you, my brothers and sisters, today, we have many times stood in terms of where we are politically. There is now a test before us, and I call upon all of us, let us stand on the side of Kenyans for once, Honorable Speaker. There is something this House can do in terms of
Be aware that we are in a global village. That anything that happens this part
by the fuel prices, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you can call it, you deny the fact that this is a global problem.
we have for their productions. So in other countries, they have done that. All the lower family members have access to a card to food subsidy so that the family members can keep on in their health. But lastly, I disagree with this doctrine of comparison. Each country has different ways of dealing with things and different factors that really drive prices. So